Robert here. This is a do-it-yourself tutorial on a E46 to change your spark plugs. What we have here is a 2000 E46. It's a 328 Ci. And this is also a attempt number 2 or fixing a P1188 and 89 fault code. From the previous videos, I changed the oxygen sensor, and the fault code came back as a pending code and became a real fault code later on. Now I'm going to the next step of thinking of replacing my spark plugs, which they seem pretty bad. First of the job is to disconnect your battery. The battery is located in the trunk. You can do this installation and removal with or without disconnecting the battery. So yeah. First step to changing your spark plugs is to remove your air cabin filter. It's easy to remove. There's 3 fasteners on the left, center, and right. Just remove the top cover off, set to the side. Next, remove your air cabin filter. And there's going to be 4 T30 screws. My previous video I said they're T25. A T25 can remove these screws, but the real size is the T30 screws that are located right here on these 4 parts. Once removed, you just pull it off. But first, before you do that, I'm going to remove the wiring harness. It's just 4 fasteners, and this comes easily right off. And then you just remove your wires on the air cabin filter. And once that's free and we got the screws already out, just go ahead and lift up and pull, and it comes right off. Now you have access to your full engine. Alright, next step is to remove your engine covers. There's 2 screws that hold them down. They can be easily accessed by removing these covers. You can use a screwdriver or you can use your finger. Usually put the screwdriver in, kind of pry them open. As so. Make sure you don't lose these. You put it off to the side, and you're gonna have 2 10mm bolts. Or actually, yeah, bolts that they are. They look like these. May be different for different cars and vehicles and different types of engines, but that's what they look like for this particular car. And once you get them removed, make sure you don't lose them. You're gonna remove your oil filter cap. Your oil cap. I don't know what I'm saying. You remove the oil cap, and it comes easy right off, and you have access to your spark plugs. And once you remove it, make sure you put them back, and so you don't get any foreign contaminants inside your engine, such stuff like that, you know. And now you have access to your coils. Once you get the covers removed, we're gonna go ahead and remove the coils. What we have here is the fastener that pretty much connects to the coils. You can use your hands just to pry them up open, or if you have difficult, just use a screwdriver. Kind of go from the top and kind of twist to lift it up, and I'll able to unfasten the plug, and you simply just pull out. Be careful, because sometimes when they're up, they kind of slide back down on their own, and it'll lock the plug in place. So you want to kind of hold up to make sure that it's fully unlocked, and you just pull it right out, and just pretty much set off to the side or whatever. Next, you want to do, once you get this unplugged, you're going to have 2 fasteners, 2 their 10mm bolts. Certain ones, they're actually all 10mm bolts, but on the first and 6th last one, that's ready to remove from earlier, they have a grounding wire. Make sure you replace these after you remove when you put your coils back. you put your coils back, make sure you're placing them back in the right spots, because they're pretty much vital. So pretty much get 10mm bolt, get a 10mm socket, and just remove these. Once you get the bolts off, put the wire off to the side and just pull up. And there you go, coils. When you pull them off, you want to make sure and inspect your coils, see if there's any cracks or any type of missing parts to it. Make sure they're still in good condition. If they're in good condition, then you can just use them again. But if not, or if you're more into maintenance, you replace them and it should easily come off and just pretty much snap back on. So mine, they're pretty much good. There's nothing, no damage or wear on it, and yeah, pretty good. What you do next step is to get your spark plug socket and an extension and remove the spark plug. Simply just place it down the hole. It's enough where you fully have hold of the spark plug, and you want to make sure that you're in a loosing position. So righty tighty, lefty loosey, and just remove them. Alright, what I have is a magnet tool. Pretty much my socket's not magnetized, so it doesn't hold on to the spark plug. So you pretty much get a long magnet tool extension. Go in there. Oops. And just pull it right out. You want to be careful on the sides that you don't grab the cylinder. And there you go. I have Bosch +4 Platinums, and you know, they're pretty worn out. They didn't last that long, but yeah, the nodes are pretty worn down and they're chipped off a bit. What happens that I did research on this. There's always like an argument about BMWs about using Bosch or Bosch spark plugs and also NGKs. OEM stock use NGK, but there's some people who prefer Bosch. There's other people who go against it, saying that, you know, you misfire and stuff like that. You know, that's not the case. That's not the case. Like, mines were pretty fine. I didn't have any troubles with them. They didn't last as long as I expected, but you know, they're worth it. You know, they're cheaper than NGKs, than the similar type to these. They're a little bit cheaper, but then, you know, you buy what you get, right? So they didn't last that long. They didn't last up to 30 miles. I'm already at, I changed mine about 101,000 miles, and now I'm already at 122, so they didn't reach 30 yet, 30K. And yeah, it's kind of sad though, but yeah, once I get the old spark plug out, and just go ahead and put the new one in. Okay. What we have here is the NGK spark plugs. These are G-powered Platinums. Bought these at AutoZone. They're about $3 each. When you have your spark plug, you want to get a spark plug measuring tool, a gap tool, and check if the gap is correct. What we have here is, we're supposed to have 0.30. So you have 0.30 there. When it goes small, then go up until where it kind of like locks up in place, but not where it is fully locked up. You just want to have some wiggle room in there. And we're here at 0.30, and I could feel it grab a bit, but not so much. So we know that the gap is good. And if it's not, you can just get a tool. For this one, use removal to open it up. If it's the gap is too small, But if the gap is too big, I recommend a clean surface and just apply a little pressure going downward. Just be careful to not to damage the tip of the node. And yeah, once you get the spark plug, you're gonna get some anti-seize. It's really recommended to have anti-seize for your spark plugs. You just want to get some moderate amounts on there, so that's pretty much good enough. And you just want to spread it around. Make sure you don't get it on the tip, and just spread it around on the threads evenly. It doesn't have to be, you know, perfectly covered. It's just that have some amount to where it's fully around the spark plug so it doesn't seize up. And I will note that this gets pretty messy when anti-seize gets on your gloves and hands and on your tools, so always might want to bring a rag about it. And once it's on, go ahead and put it in your car.
Action.
Alright, once you get your spark plugs gapped and covered with anti-seize, you go ahead and put it back in your socket and put them back in your engine. Just want to be careful when putting them in. And it just dropped. As you can see on instructions of the spark plugs, so can you focus? Pretty much says hand tight. Then depending on the type of fastener you have, which we have a flat one, we're gonna go 1.5 turn, followed by a 2/3 turn, which will leave us at 7 o'clock. So that's what we're gonna do for these spark plugs. Make sure tightening. So we're here at 12 o'clock, 1 full turn. We're at 6, kind of hitting min resistance here, then 7. So that's pretty much about 7 o'clock right there with your engine. And once you got it done to its specification of the spark plug, just go ahead and remove it and put back the engine coils. So as you can see, it's still good. You want to make sure there's no foreign contaminants on it. Respect them again if there are. Clean them off. Go ahead and slide them back in. And usually for some cars you hear a click, but particularly for this one, once they're seated in, they're good. And pretty much make sure, since we have this grounding wire here for the first cylinder, we're gonna remember that when we screw them back in, we put them back. So and that's it. Then I'm gonna place back the wire back into it. Make sure it's lifted up. Once it's fully in, snap down, and there you go. One spark plug change. Now I just gotta do it for all 5. Alright. So once you get them all done, put them in all 6 cylinders. Just go ahead and fire it up. Don't cover it up first, just in case if anything goes wrong. What you want to do is, you know, test run it first, see if it's good. And then when everything's good to go and everything's all properly sealed and everything and all the screws are on tight, you just go ahead and put back the covers in reverse order, and put back the covers, air can filter, and yeah. Hey, it's Robert here. I may look different. Got a haircut. And I also did this do-it-yourself video a while back, probably like 2 or 3 weeks, maybe a month back. And the reason why is because I'm just trying to find a new editor and stuff like that, and actually editing program. The cameraman for that do-it-yourself video, which is DIY number 3, changing your spark plugs and boots, was my friend, my close friend who I grew up with. His name is David. He makes YouTube videos, stuff like that. He's also an editor like me. But we will do collabs once in a while with each other. And he was a cameraman. He was my cameraman for that time since Larry was unavailable. He was my main cameraman for the whole series, for everything. So he's my backup, and here's a picture of him. So go ahead and if you want to check out his channel, see the videos that he does in editing and all that stuff, check him out. So pretty much click right here. Check out his channel. They're pretty much random about stuff like that we do together, stuff like our friends. And I met Larry Stats right now, so Larry.
Hey guys, I'm Robert's cameraman here, the permanent one. When I'm at work or at school, just David takes over. So yeah, it's nice to meet you guys.
Well, that's about it. Just giving a shout out to him. So if you want, check out his channel, see what he's up to, see his any skills, you know, help him out, help him get views, stuff like that. Trying to help each other out in any way. Well, so that's about it. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and later, and subscribe.